All right. Good morning, everybody. Welcome to the June 13th, Friday the 13th, Ag Robotics Working Group meeting. Thanks for being here this morning. We have a few new members. However, unless I am missing them, I don't believe I saw any of listed members join. However, that being said, if I miss someone or if there's somebody who hasn't had the chance to introduce themselves yet, please let me know. So I see a hand with Corey.
Yeah. Hi.
Hi there.
Hey. Yeah, I'm Corey Jubenville. I'm with Global Growing Solutions or Ritter. Uh, so we're here out of Leamington. We work primarily in the greenhouse business, where we do automation, for example, climate controls, irrigation controls, labor management software. But we're also developing harvesting robots for the greenhouse business. So very much into this type of thing. So thanks for inviting me in here, and I hope to learn a lot from you folks.
Absolutely. Thanks so much for joining us this morning. Was there anybody else who hasn't had the chance to introduce themselves? Sherry Roberts.
Morning from the West, everyone. My name is Sherry Roberts. I'm the program head at Sask Polytech in the Ag and Food Production program. I asked to join this group so that I could keep abreast of all the new innovations that are happening because we have an ag and food production program that it's just starting out as fledgling, and we want to be able to put forth to our students the best of what's happening out there. And for all you guys who said it's 9 o'clock, it's actually 7 out here.
Unfortunately, there's nothing we can do about that, but we appreciate you waking up early to join us this morning.
Can you just tell us where and how big Sask Polytech is? Just for us people that don't know.
Sure. Sask Polytech is in Moose Jaw, Saskatchewan, and our program has about 60 students.
Excellent. Okay. Anyone else to introduce themselves before we get going this morning? No? All right, perfect. In that case, we will move into the presentation for today. So this morning we are joined by Hamid Djam. I hope I pronounced that correctly, Hamid, with Vertical Data. And they're here to speak about the V-Box for Vision. So Hamid, please take it away.
Yeah, thanks a lot, Dan. Can you guys hear me okay?
Yes, we can hear you, although we can't see your video.
Yeah, I'm gonna present and it's 6 a.m. I'm not sure you guys want to look at me at 6 o'clock in the morning.
Understood.
But let me go ahead and pop up my first deck. I've got three of them. And share. Boom. Okay. Just let me know when you can see the screen.
We can see it, it's just not in presentation mode.
Yeah, perfect. Okay, thanks everyone for joining and thanks for the opportunity. My name is Hamid. I am based out of Las Vegas, Nevada. I head up technology at Vertical Data. I'll give you a quick little background. I've been in the data analytics slash AI for almost 25 years. I'm an engineer by schooling and kind of started my career with a couple of startups that were doing distributed computing, specifically in the data warehousing and data analytics space. That goes back to almost 28, 29 years ago. Couple of startups there. Ended up working at Oracle and Teradata post successful acquisition of those two startups. One was acquired by Microsoft, the other one by EMC. And then in the latter part, I ended up heading up the AI and analytics and AI engineering teams at EMC, which was then later acquired by Dell. I stayed there, and my last gig there was a CTO responsible for AI within Dell prior to joining Vertical Data. Again, thank you very much for letting me have this opportunity to walk you guys through what we do. Hopefully, it'll be beneficial for everyone here. So I just very quickly want to take you guys through this deck, talking about who we are as Vertical Data. So, when you look at the whole industry in terms of AI, obviously, it's nothing new. It's been around for 50, 60 years. But the past 10 or so have been probably the most interesting due to all of the advancements in hardware and software, so on and so forth. So, what that has done is created a kind of a mishmash of different kinds of vendors and providers in the whole space, where it's kind of made the supply chain a little bit complicated in terms of putting together a good data strategy and a good AI strategy, right? So what we're doing at Vertical Data is putting together an end-to-end supply chain that enables entities, enterprises, companies, educational entities, everyone that has any kind of AI roadmap. We enable them to get there quickly and efficiently, end to end, right? So I don't want to go through the fact that AI is big and is exploding, but the markets are looking pretty good in terms of growth, way beyond exponential growth. And it doesn't look like it's going to stop. NVIDIA is releasing new cards almost on a yearly basis, and the market is responding with gobbling everything up. So yeah, things are moving pretty quickly. The one of the biggest challenges is data centers, and the fact that once you build models, those are far and few between. The actual putting those models to work, and starting inferencing and utilizing and capitalizing on what you've done. That's where the market is going to start exploding even beyond what it is. And that's where edge data centers will play a larger role, is getting those models closer to the end users, and making sure that there are facilities out there that can support these types of deployments. Um, so we basically look at everything that's required to have a successful AI deployment. So you have the whole data center issue, you have the hardware issue, and then you also have the technical talent. Although I think for the folks on this call, most of yourself and your organizations probably have large teams of data scientists and teams designed to handle these types of workloads. So you guys probably don't lack in that respect. But acquiring hardware and finding proper data centers, whether it's a hyperscaler from whom you rent, or whether it's a private data center that you own, or whether it's a co-location space, they're kind of hard to come by, and not to mention getting more expensive and more complex in terms of energy availability, space availability, so on and so forth. So the solutions that we bring to the market is, no pun intended, or not to be cheesy, is to provide the full stack, right? So depending on the maturity of our customers, We start with with a consultative approach in terms of finding out what the customer wants to do within their industry. We have the expertise to work with our customers, identify their use cases, shortlist them, and then take them all the way from an idea all the way to deployment. Next step after that is to figure out whether or not the customer requires hardware as well. So as a company, we provide hardware. That can be just your vanilla deployments of the biggest guys in the market, AMD or NVIDIA, all the way through the partnerships we have with quite a few giants in the startups in the custom accelerator market, which is a very interesting thing that's happening in the market, which is a lot of startup companies are building accelerators to compete with NVIDIA and AMD. Beyond that, we provide data center space. We have the largest global footprint of available data centers compared to anyone in the US. And we're always looking to build and acquire data centers and partner with those that already have them. So we can provide that, and we provide managed services. So we provide an end-to-end stack that enables our customers to basically start or continue their AI journey. Having said that, I'm going to now just quickly switch to the presentation that will talk about our two solutions that we have created. And I think I have to reshare this. Do you see the new presentation?
Yes, we can see it.
Okay, perfect. So what we've done is we have a few partners with whom we work. The first one, we worked with this company to basically create a solution that is targeted specifically for HPC and AI. And to do that, what we want to do is address some of the shortcomings that the traditional architectures have when it comes to deploying GPUs to the field. The main problem there is that the clusters keep getting larger and larger. There is a cost problem, both from a energy perspective as well as product availability, which is driving the cost up even more. And then the performance, which goes hand in hand with the fact that some products don't scale well and some products do, but then they become super expensive for a variety of reasons. So what we have built is the VBox for data center. And what this machine basically does is something that NVIDIA just recently, actually last year, was able to solve. So the main limiting factor for a linear scalable architecture that NVIDIA was hitting, that limit was the fact that their network technology that would connect all of their GPUs together was limited to a number of 8. So NVL could only connect 8 cards together and make that available as a quote unquote virtual single memory space where the workload would be executed in. So you would have a cluster of 64. That would mean you have literally 8 units of 8 cards underneath that to support that cluster of 64 GPUs. What we're able to do is utilizing a new network technology based on PCIe and using a composable architecture. In other words, we pulled out the GPUs from the compute unit, gave them their own housing with their own backplane and everything else, and connect them back using PCIe into the compute unit, right? Which allows us to scale those groups of 8 to groups of 64, which is what NVIDIA is doing now with NVL72, although they went with 72. I don't know why. We can go to 72 as well, but for to be binarily correct, we just keep it at 64. So what that does is it allows us to, number one, card for card, give our end customers more performance. So for training, we'll be looking at about 30 to 35% more performance for the same number of cards, beyond 8, obviously. And then the fact that we can scale that way without utilizing additional hardware overhead gives us a better energy footprint. So we require less energy. We also require less real estate within the data center. And another very important thing is that this architecture, because it's PCIe based, is not locked in to any GPU vendor or accelerator vendor in the market. We can literally take any PCIe based card and drop it in, and you would get the same exact benefits from this. And we'll kind of talk about that in the following product, which is the VBox Vision. So really what this does is it makes our end customers a lot more agile. They can get a system that's very small, very compact, very fast. It scales, it's completely secure, it's flexible in terms of integrating with all the different platforms that are out there, and there is no secret sauce in terms of the end user. So you code the way you would code previously. If you have AMD, you use ROCm. If you have NVIDIA, you use CUDA. And if it's something proprietary, you would use their platform for writing your code, whatever that may be. In terms of benchmarks, there's a lot of those things that have already been published. This is just showing the difference between utilizing our network for keeping the GPUs pegged continuously as the number of GPUs grow. And we also have a lot of different types of analysis that we've done with aerodynamics and HPC type of workloads that are out there and available as well. And I can share that with whoever is interested afterwards. I just didn't want to make these presentations too long. So obviously, as I talked to you guys before, we also provide a full suite of services that allow us to basically procure the hardware for you, deploy it for you, and help with any kind of implementation services as well, if there's a need for that. So let me pause here real quick and see if there's any questions. I don't want to delay questions to the end. So I'll just hold off 1 second and see if there's any hands or anything. Otherwise, I'll kind of move on. Okay, don't see any. Let me just open my next one. This one will probably result in some questions, hopefully. So this product is the VBox. Oh, I think I opened the same one again. There we go. So VBox for Vision is a product that we, again, engineered working with a partner. Furiosa.ai is the name of the company. They have headquarters in Korea, but they have offices and a co-headquarter, I guess, here in the US. What they do is these guys have been building custom accelerators for a few years. And what they are doing is they're basically um, solving for a few of the problems that we talked about right now. Number one, they are solving for the energy factor problem. They're solving for speed. They're solving for a lack of availability for products that are low enough power and low enough and small enough in form factor to be able to be used at the edge. And by the edge, I should clarify, I don't mean a device edge. I mean closer to the end user or closer to where the product is being used. So from an ag tech perspective, think of it as a unit that would be mounted on a tractor, a unit that would be housed somewhere in a farm. Think of it as a unit that would be sitting in a security building or a traffic control office, those types of areas, right? So not necessarily edge in a traditional sense of, sensors and computing data right on the sensor, but one step away from that. Um, and there's nothing keeping this solution from also being a solution that's housed somewhere in a data center. So it comes in various different form factors, so it can be utilized that way, and it scales exactly like the product I spoke with you earlier about. It's based on NPU processing. It's built by TSMC, the chip is. It's TCP architecture, and it runs at about 1 GHz, which obviously would result in very, very low power consumption and the ability to basically build very small computers using off-the-shelf parts and very small power supplies to power this thing. It's built specifically to support vision-based models, so YOLOs, things like that. You basically take those and retrain them and execute them on this system. The smallest unit, which is a single card, will have the type of performance that you see here on the screen, about 48 gigs of memory, about 1.5 terabytes of memory bandwidth, and it's a PCIe Gen 5 and 4 compatible unit. Super cost efficient, very low in terms of power requirements. The things you can do with it, as long as it's a vision-based model, sky's the limit. And as I mentioned earlier, there are multiple different form factors, and we can accommodate other ones as well if it needs to go in an autonomous car or a vehicle, I should say, whatever that vehicle is, whether it's a car or a tractor or any other type of equipment that moves around, we can provide enclosures that are ruggedized and ready to go for various different industries, mining, ag tech, what have you. In terms of use cases, I really don't have to show you guys too much, but I have a couple of videos here just to show you some of the things that this single cart is able to do. I'm not sure if the video here will work, but I'll give it a shot. Let's see, perhaps this is one up. Okay, it looks like might not be able to do that. Oh, no, it doesn't. So anyway, this is not anything you haven't seen before, but basically, this video would show a variety. Actually, no. The video would show a variety of different cameras that are capturing body language, objects, individuals, fire in this case, red lights, green lights, congestion, every type of thing, and it's all being processed real time and being displayed here on the screen. The next one is for video rendering, increasing video quality, zooming into areas in a video or photo, increasing or reducing the video size, as well as making the quality much higher so you can identify things and objects within that set. And then specifically to the ag tech technology, there's customers out there that use this particular technology for various aspects, like sorting nuts, quality control, identifying disease out in the fields, counting cattle. You guys know a ton more use cases than I do, but we have a lot of customers out there that are using this in the ag tech space. Furthermore, we also have partnerships with a lot of software companies that are every day developing new solutions, specifically for the ag tech space and other vertical markets. So we usually partner up with them when we're talking to the to this particular industry, just because it's a very slow-moving industry. It's not very cutting edge, and so it takes time to penetrate. But I guess with the folks here on the call, and I don't want to assume, but most of you yourself are in the space to provide solutions and to build solutions in that space. So from that perspective, um, we would most definitely love to partner up with you and yeah, work together. So what's in the box? Like I said, it's a super simple setup. There's nothing very proprietary in here outside of the PCIe card itself, which can scale up to 64 within a single node if it sits in a data center, very much like the VBox data center that we just talked about. And that's the largest footprint. And then the smallest footprint would just be a single card that would be sitting in a very small form factor machine. It doesn't draw very much power. You could basically run that with a off-the-shelf consumer grade power supply, right? Doesn't need any specific type of cooling or anything like that either. Just what's in the box would take care of everything. It lends itself to virtualization. So if you wanted to, if you had, 8 or 16 or however number of these cards in a machine, you can virtualize them, slice them, and offer them up to various different applications at the same time as well. Um, so I think with that said, that is the end of the presentation here. And I'd be more than happy to take any kind of questions you guys have, if you have them.
Excellent. Thanks so much, Hamid.
Yeah, you're very welcome.
Yeah, Yassine, go ahead.
Hey, thank you for your presentation. Very interesting. So since the VBox inference currently focuses on vision, how do you envision expanding toward integrating additional sensor modalities like LiDAR, thermal, or acoustic? Because in the industries like gas and agriculture, we see multiple sensors generating multiple type of data. So do you see future iterations of your NPU-powered edge platform supporting multimodal AI, for example? Thank you.
Thank you, Yassine, for the question. And to answer your question, the answer is yes. We actually already have a solution that does multimodal inference as well as transformers, LLMs. That product is just being prepared for GA. So I would say by Q1 2026, we would have that available as well.
Thank you.
Yep, you're very welcome.
Drew, go ahead.
Thanks for the presentation. Great one. You may have already answered this, but I just wanted to ask again. I was curious with this setup, how many cameras and at what FPS can this hardware support uh, for usual, say, for running a YOLO model for object detection?
So that I'll start with the usual answer. It depends.
Yeah.
And then, but so it depends on the resolution of the images coming in,
Hmm.
how big or small they are. But just to give you a ballpark, so I don't leave you hanging there, with a single card, you should be able to handle about 13 to 1400 frames per second. Regardless of, you just have to figure out how many cameras you can use in with respect to the speed that that one card gives you. But it's super scalable, right? Even within a small form factor, you can have probably
Hmm.
two, four of these cards because they come in a SXM type of card, so half height. So we can populate, and they're not very wide either. So we can populate all the PCIe slots in a small motherboard, all the way up to 64. So it really depends on, whether you want a rack mount unit or a small form factor. But
Okay.
what we also can do is provide multiple of these machines. They're very low in cost, right? Think of these cards at a couple of $1,000s each. And the rest of the hardware is not that expensive, right? So for the small form factor, so you could have multiple of these in various different locations, monitoring different. You basically build a cluster of them if you want
Okay.
it form factor. If not, you make a single cluster that expands vertically as opposed to horizontally, if that makes sense.
Hmm. And we can find more details about the form factors or the pricing on the website, or we just get in touch with you.
You would have to get in touch with us, and I can provide you with all the technical engineering bits and pieces, as well as pricing and availability and those types of things.
Oh, okay. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you very much. Did you have our contact information? I'm sure Dan would have them.
Um, yeah, I should be able to find.
Yeah, or just go to the website and
Yeah,
reach out. Otherwise, it's simple. My email is hamid@verticaldata.io.
perfect. Okay, I'll do that. Thank you.
Yeah, perfect. Thanks.
Hamid, in the meantime, maybe if you just want to drop that in the chat for folks,
Yeah, I
then they've
will do
got it
that.
there.
Yep.
Perfect, thanks. Were there any other questions? No? All right. Well, want to take a second to say thank you so much to you, Hamid, for joining us this morning. I know it's especially early for you being out in the West, so we really appreciate you getting up nice and early to present to us.
Thank you very much. It was a pleasure, and I'll look forward to listening in next week and learning some more from you guys. Thank you for setting up this group and the opportunity. Appreciate it.
Absolutely. Thank you. Um, all right. So we'll move forward with the rest of our agenda items. We don't have any new events to advertise for everybody this week. I do want to give a reminder to folks that so next week, June 20th, will be an in-person meeting at the Vineland Research Station in Niagara area. So there is registration. So the in-person meeting will be taking place in the morning. It's at 10 a.m. as opposed to our usual 9 a.m., just to give folks a easier morning driving in. Um, there is a registration on Eventbrite, which I will post the links again or actually, sorry, the links are in the agenda. So please register for that. In the afternoon at Vineland, they have a critical technology demo day. That is a separate registration just because that event was sort of created before we worked with them on setting up the in-person event. So we just want to make sure that we capture appropriate numbers for the in-person as well as the demo day. So please, if you intend to go to both, please register for both. Garson?
Thanks, Dan. I just wanted to give a shout out to the ASABE meeting that's been listed on the or in the agenda for some time. This is a decennial meeting, so once every 10 years. It's a joint meeting between the American Society of Ag Engineers and the Canadian Society. Um, and this year it's being held in Toronto, so it's pretty convenient for most people. I have no clue where it'll be held in 10 years from now. The Canadian Society meets every year, and I know that they are looking for more membership, particularly among students and Canadian engineers. This is a I don't know if people have had a chance to go through the calendar of events or agenda, but it's pretty extensive. There are a lot of topics in mechatronics and robotics, advanced machine learning, for instance, IoT sensing, spectroscopic sensing, etc. So please take a look if anyone has an interest in this area. The American group that I'm sure people will recognize the name, the ASABE, is a group that's responsible for looking after a lot of the standards that get created and keeping track of international European standards. And of course, the Canadian group will typically follow along with what the American group does. I can have some additional information if anyone is interested in learning more about that meeting and the group. Thanks.
Awesome. Thanks for that, Garson. And I'll mention it because I did see the question in the chat. Will it be possible to attend the next week's meeting virtually? Yes. Uh, Although it is in person, we will be live streaming the meeting as well on Zoom. So if you can't make it to the in-person, please don't think that there's nothing for you to see next week. You can still tune in online. But reminder, 10 a.m. as opposed to 9 a.m. for next week. Excellent. All right.
And actually, Cesar here, I have a question regarding the Simcoe one. I was talking to some apple growers earlier today, and they were asking me if there's any new products that are going to be showcased versus the last year event. And I wasn't part of it, so I'm not sure.
Yes, there are a few new technologies that are being shown this year. What are they off the top of my head? Upside Robotics is going to be joining us this year.
You can, you know what, you can text me later. I just want to make sure I give them that information.
Absolutely. Yeah, I can connect with you later. I know there are a few, but just off the top of my head and
Yeah,
wasn't
I
prepared with
understand.
it. So
If you can let me know, so I can tell them that.
absolutely will do. Thanks, Caesar. Um, the funding announcements and opportunities, there are no new ones on the agenda. However, we did just get a recent email about one, BioEnterprise launching round 2 of the Sustainable Growth and Adoption Program for Southern Ontario's food and agri-food tech business. So that's coming up, and we will include information and the link and everything for that on next week's agenda. Okay, with that brings us to the roundtable section of the meeting. So please, this is your opportunity for any thoughts, any questions, things like that. Joe, go ahead.
Big news in the Globe and Mail this week. Dan, do you want to tell us about the Untethered and AMD deal?
Sure. Sorry about that. Here we go.
So AMD has hired the engineering team of Untethered, acquired some of the assets, but aren't going to continue on with the products. So sales team and other operational people have left the company. It's kind of part of what's going on in the industry, as you'd expect, would be consolidation. So the big guys, the AMDs, the Intels are now moving into this industry. So Ranjani's on the call. She's still working there. If anybody has anything they want to follow up with, and appreciate all the stuff you've done with this group to help Untether. And there's plenty of technologies out there, so I expect the whole AgBox thing will continue.
Yeah, thanks for all your help, Dan. And yeah, it's unfortunate to see the companies gobbled up or acquired or whatever, especially a Canadian one, but it kind of shows how fast the industry's going, and it's such a big boys game. So yeah, it's been fun trying to follow along with you on this journey. So Dan's looking for a new job. If he's too I don't know, bashful or too nice to plump himself, but we'll see if we can find a home for you, Dan.
Appreciate it.
Perfect. Thanks for the update there, Dan. Yeah, any other updates, thoughts, questions?
I had fun yesterday. Is Jason Garabo on here? Jason, tell everybody what you were doing yesterday. It was kind of fun. At the Grove, they were setting up some robots to go out to customers.
Hey everyone. Yeah, so we have a number of burrows that are going out to the field. So we're just setting them up with IntelliCulture units, which we use to keep track of all the robots, make sure that they're getting some acreage, and they're in the field. So
So
one
what's
of
a
our
burrow? Just you guys probably don't know.
So the burrow is one of the robots we have in our fleet. It's something it's really used for moving things around vineyards or plant nurseries and things like that. Sorry, I'm just babysitting, right? Well, not babysitting, just taking care of my little one as we chat. Or here, I'll just go on camera actually. There's us. So the burrow, it's a robot that can go around a vineyard or a nursery to pull totes around, or kind of like an autonomous wheelbarrow, or it can replace maybe where you have forklifts going around a facility moving things around. We use them to bring materials to and from the vehicles at trade shows. If you look it up, it's spelled BURRO, and they have many different models. So that's what that is, and yeah, so we were just setting one up. We integrate it with an IntelliCulture unit so that we could track them and make sure that they're performing well, and that they're getting use out of them. So we know if they're not being used, we know when we need to go out and service them, or at least check in with the customer.
Yeah, so the burrow seems to be getting some pretty good traction and lots of farmer interest. So it's fairly simple. It's four-wheel platform that can take the role of a gator or some sort of wheelbarrow. So kind of interesting.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, very repeatable paths kind of thing. It can follow a person. It can follow a predetermined path. It's going to be at the Vineland demonstration next week. And we're planning to set it up so that it's driving in between rows of either the vineyard there or the orchard, and it'll be coming back to the warehouse and kind of performing as it would in a commercial operation.
Nice. If anybody wants to check that out, Bridget did post the link to the burrow in the chat there. So thanks for that, Bridget.
Mm-hmm. Thanks, guys.
And Debjani, yes, this is Joe did post a video of the of Jason working on the burrow yesterday on LinkedIn. So if that's the video you're referring to, then yeah, you can check that out. Perfect. All right. Any other thoughts, question? Hamid? Sorry, I see you said hand raised.
Yeah, thanks. I was trying to find my little raise your hand icon.
No worries.
No, I just to the previous comment about Untether, I just wanted to say that actually our previous version of the VBox Vision was based on Untether. So we worked very closely with Ranjani and the rest of the team at Untether for about a year and a half. I was kind of sad to hear that they were acquired in the way that they were. But yeah, for you guys, we enjoyed working with you. And if you're seriously looking for another gig, do reach out to us. You have all our contact information. But yeah, I just wanted to let you guys know about that. And specifically, I was just reminded if you go to our website, the VBox Vision still specifies Untether. We forgot to update the website, but yeah, just wanted to add that 2 cents in there.
Excellent. Thanks, Hamid.
Yeah, no more.
Yassine.
Yes. So I work for CMC Microsystems. I also have the privilege to collaborate with Untether. They provided us with some inference cards, which we provided to researchers in Canada. And our role was to facilitate feedback from the research community to Untether, and it was really a great relationship. And it just confirmed how low power inference is really important at this point across all verticals. So I wish good luck to the team that joined AMD, and I am sure that they will be using some of these hardware in future AMD offering. So good luck to that team. Thank you.
Excellent. Thanks for those comments, Yassine. All right. We have about 10 minutes left in the meeting. If anybody had anything they want to discuss, don't make my job too easy.
I guess I can give a quick report for Matt from Finite Farms, Finite Robotics. He's the one that's working on the apple orchard robot. He said they were pretty close to getting it out to do some, I guess, thinning in some orchards. So seemed pretty excited about the progress they've made, and they're going to be out on in actual farm conditions probably the next couple of weeks. Helping apple farmers with, I guess, thinning. So if you're an apple orchard guy, you know what that means. So I'm going to try to get out and see him in action here in the next little bit. So I know it's a crazy busy time of year. I saw Yana was on. I imagine she's probably in a field somewhere with Upside Robotics. I don't know if she wants to give a quick update and see if there's anything the group can do to support her during this crazy period.
I'm actually not, but I'm heading towards the field. Everyone else is on the field. Yeah, it's crazy time. We're trying to get all the systems up and running. I guess for us, it's just executing right now. It's just a big time crunch.
Yeah.
So building, fixing, deploying all at once.
Good luck.
Appreciate it.
Hang in
Thank
there.
you. Yeah, feel free to visit us. We have locations across the central region, so close to Arthur. We have locations down south now running, and then we also have some locations close to Tara region up north. So if you're ever there, just feel free to drop by. We usually have a bunch of systems running all at the same time across those regions.
Excellent. And as I mentioned a little earlier, you're going to be at the Simco demo day as well. So if you can't make it out to one of their
I believe
fields,
so.
you know, come out to the Simcoe demo day and you'll be able to see some stuff there.
Yeah, that's right.
Perfect. Thanks, Yana. And while I'm on the subject, going off of what Joe was saying with Finite is also going to be at the Simcoe demo day. So if you want to be able to check out some of the stuff they're doing with the apples, then that's the place to do it.
Dan, what do we have coming up for speakers over the next few weeks? Maybe that's a topic you can be letting
Yeah,
people know.
absolutely. Let me just pull up my calendar here.
So I think Graham Millen's going to be one of our speakers from FCC and talking about their venture capital group. So I know that's an important topic for everybody.
Yeah, absolutely. So yes, we've got Kaya, the intern at Haggerty Ag Robotics. She's going to be doing a bit of a presentation on some of their current projects and their progress to date. We're going to have some folks from Studica Robotics giving a presentation. As you mentioned, Graham from FCC is going to be coming up.
You know the dates, just so people can get in there.
Yeah. Kaya will be on June 27th. Studica is going to be on July 4th. Graham's going to be July 11th. On the 25th, we're being joined by Lisa Ashton from RBC Thought Leadership. Yeah, so that brings us up to the end of July. So some good presentations coming up. If you are someone or you know someone who would be interested in presenting, we're always looking to fill our calendar. So please don't hesitate to reach out to myself or to Bridget. And we can discuss getting you a date. So Yana just put a comment in the chat there. They're looking for a robot production manager at Upside, someone that can lead and manufacture robots. So if you are interested or you know someone who might be interested, her email's in the chat there, or I'm sure you can find it on their website as well.
Yeah, just location-wise, we're based out of Waterloo, Kitchener. So ideally, someone that's present locally. And yeah, just we're building still about 30 to 50 robots. There's plenty of things to do.
Yana, there's a lot of little equipment manufacturers all through Mennonite country up there.
Yeah.
You know, that sounds like something they would do small batch.
Yeah.
I'll try to find you a contact, but I think if you dig around, like Wallenstein Manufacturing and people like that, they can connect you to the right folks, and you'd be surprised at what they can do on some of those small operations. Horst, HORST, Horst Manufacturing. Maybe the person to talk to would be Donna Boyd at the Agricultural Manufacturers of Canada. She might have a really good list for you.
All right.
I'll try to send you her.
Oh, that'll be great. Yeah. Yep, that'll be great. We're looking for someone that can manufacture but design at the same time.
Sure.
So yeah, so anyone would love to have a list.
And they're making a lot of different farm equipment up there, like surprising everything from sprayers
I know. Yeah, it's really great. We work with a lot of them, a lot of the equipment manufacturers around the area. Perfect.
Excellent. Thanks so much. Taylor, I see you're posting some stuff about an upcoming funding opportunity. Did you want to take a second and just let people know about it?
Yeah, sure. It's the IDEA Fund that's it's FedDev Ontario funding that's administered through the Regional Innovation Network. So Tech Alliance here in London, WeTech in Windsor, and then actually a new one, Launch Lab. It has also been included as one that you can apply to. It's the fourth cohort. So unfortunately, if you've been part of the previous cohorts, you can't reapply, but a big focus is sustainability and ag and food, and a lot of those companies have been successful through the program. So I would encourage folks to apply, and it also kind of gives you a close relationship with your local regional innovation center. So I encourage that as well.
Excellent. Thank you. I'll follow the link there and I'll throw it up on the agenda for next week as well. Lisa.
Hi, thanks. And I know there's a lot of new faces since I mentioned this a while back, so I thought I'd mention it again. That Sengen does, in fact, have a funded program to support testing and validation and adoption of agriculture and robotics equipment, having 2 agriculture living labs that we're on the precipice of launching, as well as a robotics specific living lab. So if you're interested, I would be delighted to speak with you if I haven't already. I'll put my email in the chat. Thank you very much. And I look forward to seeing everyone in person next week. I'm coming. Can't wait to be there and see you in person. Thank you.
Perfect. Glad to hear it. Is there a link to information on that?
Sure. I'll pop
that you might be able to throw in as well, and then I can add it onto the agenda.
Perfect. Thank you.
Awesome. No problem. Thank you. All right. Just a couple minutes left. If anybody has any last comments or thoughts. If not, then we'll adjourn for the week. Next week is the in-person meeting in Vineland. I myself, unfortunately, am not able to make it, but Bridget will be leading the charge there, so he'll be in good hands. Yeah, all right. Once again, I'll say thank you to Hamid for joining us on a very early morning for him. Thanks for the presentation. Thank you, everybody, for your questions and all the new info, and have a great weekend.
Thank you so much.
Thanks, sir.
Take care, everyone.